Okay. All righty. Waiting for others to join. Oh, good to go. We are here and we are live. Welcome, everybody. I'm here with Marie Martin. Marie is an educator, trainer, facilitator, and instructional designer for over 15 years. She's currently the CEO of Alexandria's World, where she focuses her efforts on creating learning experiences for children based around cultural respect and global citizenship, education consulting, and instructional design. Marie currently is a doctoral candidate studying education leadership at the University of Southern California, and her specialties are equity and curriculum and development. So welcome, Marie, and we're so happy to have you. I'm going to turn this over to you now.
Thank you so very much, Miss Laura. I am so humbled to be here, and I do want to thank John, Liz, Kim, Miss Sonia that just came off the line, everybody to make this work, and also my mentor, Tina Bjork. So thank you so much. I'm very humbled to be here. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to publish a little poll here for you, just to kind of get an idea of the types of vocabulary you understand as it relates to the fourth industrial revolution. And as you are filling out this poll, I would love for you to just hear a little bit about me and who I am. And of course, please, I'm going to have my email at the end and at the beginning. Feel free to contact me at any time and stay in contact with me, because we together are going to be a community and we are going to get this work done. The bottom line starts with us in learning and curriculum. So thank you so much. And it doesn't matter what area you are in, what organization you're in, it will impact everyone in your organization. And just because I happen to work in the K through 12 area, that is my expertise. But whatever your expertise is, I would love for you to push your organizations forward into thinking about the skilling or reskilling or upskilling that needs to happen for this next era. So welcome, I am Marie Martin. I am currently a doctoral candidate, and my concentration is in how does this fourth industrial revolution impact marginalized communities? And I'm talking about students from BIPOC populations, as well as rural areas. And I was a rural teacher as of last year, and I pivoted into instructional design, where some of my clients include Microsoft, Albert Whitman Children's Publishing, and also some government contracts. So it's been a wonderful ride this year, and I'm so excited to share some of the research that I have been doing. I am a mother, I am a wife, I'm a caretaker of 2 elderly parents, I am an educator, and I am love. But I tell you one thing, I am full of equity, I am full of problem-based learning, which we will talk about, and accountability to our communities. I feel as if now with this testing and accountability, we're accounting ourselves to the state and not to the children that we serve. And I want to just give you some background as far as what has happened in the past, which is what is impacting what is going on now. So then we can now start creating what our future will look like, because it's time for us to take control of this in order for us to go into the future together and impact children, impact parents, and everybody around this world. So let me get into it. First of all, I'm looking at this poll, and I don't know if you can see it. Can you see it? Somebody give me an emoji thumb if you guys can see it, the results, or do I need to do the results? Okay, you can see it. I see good, good, good. A lot of you do know about the fourth industrial revolution. Singularity, I'll touch upon it just a little bit. Technological unemployment, we're going there, people. We're going there, and you will know the why behind that. And then artificial intelligence, good. So that's kind of a common theme, so you guys know this, good. I'm gonna close the poll now, and let's get started, because I only have, 15 minutes now, and I'm a talker, so I put in a couple of videos on some of the, in some of the areas that I can talk too much on. So then I can stay focused on what we need to do. And I'm gonna also open my chat, and I will send you guys something towards the middle, so we can keep, while this is going.
What is Industry 4.0, and what does it mean for you? Technology is driving change across all areas of society. Not only do we increasingly use it and even rely on it in our personal lives, we also find our workplaces digitally evolving, with more and more processes now being undertaken using technology. This change is known as the Fourth Industrial Revolution, or Industry 4.0. Industry 4.0 will see many tasks that were once performed by us now being automated. With the collection and analysis of real-time data, artificial intelligence, and the ability for all components of a production line to talk to each other, production can be really efficient and personalized according to customer needs. But what does this mean for us? With increased automation, our time will be freed up for concentrating on more complex tasks. We will need a workforce who are capable of building, programming, and developing these technologies, but also making sure we are applying them to our lives in an ethical way. There are core skills that we can offer that technology cannot replace. The human touch is going to be incredibly important, ensuring effective communication, problem solving, and supporting change management in this digital environment. There will also be a greater need for joint working across disciplines, creating new innovations. The future job market will be looking for graduates with an open mind to explore the unknown future possibilities. We will all need to develop our skills in order to embrace, adapt to this ever-changing environment. What will you do to make sure you are ready and have the right skills to thrive in the Fourth Industrial Revolution?
All right. So that's the fourth industrial revolution, and that's where we're going in the future, right? And when we think about the fourth industrial revolution, what I've had to do is I've noticed a couple of things. There are two sets of theorists out there in future technologists, right? Future technologists have something where they will say there's going to be this wonderful grand utopia where everybody will be able to be freed up from a lot of work requirements, and therefore they will have more time to pursue creative and wonderful lifestyles. And then there's another that says that there's going to be a huge technological unemployment that happens, and there's going to be a certain section of people, a large section of people, who will not have any type of position. And I don't know if you've heard of the term UBI, or universal basic income. That has been pitched as the solution for those who are technologically employed. So as we're going forward, and I'm looking, I got 10 minutes, so I gotta like flash. We got to look at the last industrial revolution. So what I did was I've been going through in my research, and I've been looking at how the last industrial revolutions have impacted various communities, especially marginalized communities. And when we look at Industry 1.0, what has happened is it has impacted with the cotton gin more and higher production. But what does that mean? It meant that people were actually working more. So it's given in each industrial revolution, it has, yes, created a lot higher skill set for those who are acquiring those specific skills, and created jobs for those who acquired those skills. But for those who were separated from skills, it required, it actually created more work for them. It created no work for them, or it has created dangerous work for them. And so this is my issue with going into the fourth industrial revolution, because as we saw from last year with COVID, our children, especially in marginalized communities, colors of Black and brown, and also in rural communities, they have not adapted to technology just like we thought they were. And so this has been also a talk around the education field. What is singularity? Well, in essence, it is a black hole. It is a black hole in time. And I want you to look at Carswell, who's a major proponent of technological singularity. And what I love from his book is that he actually outlined human technology from the beginning of man, which was awesome. And what he found was that there was a doubling that was happening all throughout history from the beginning, from the first tool made. And what he has done is he has predicted a technological singularity, which is driven by artificial intelligence and driven by machine learning. And as what artificial intelligence is that it is pretty much mapping the human brain and making technology more and more human-like, okay? And so when we're looking at this, his prediction is that by the mid-2030s, we're going to have this technological singularity where artificial intelligence is as intelligent as a human being, and machine learning will be able to be as flexible as a human being, meaning that there will be more jobs automated. Now, the latest World Economic Forum report says that by 2025, and I'm just going to tell you that it's actually because artificial intelligence is actually ahead of schedule, to be honest with you. And so by 2025, World Economic Forum report actually has said that that there will be 85 million jobs worldwide consumed by automation. But 97 million jobs will be created, new jobs, but these jobs will be a slice. It will be made up of human, machine, and also algorithms. And so what does that mean for us in our industries? That means that we need to start adopting more future technology within our curriculum, within our L&D, within our thinking processes, and really bring in those creative and those critical thinking elements within our jobs and our organizations and make it job embedded. Now, I did put in a Padlet, and I'll put it in before here. And I'll put it in again. And I just wanted to have the Padlet here because I think I'm going to do like an ongoing. So some of it is kind of filled out a little bit, but I want us to kind of start creating off this Padlet. So check back, because as I continue talking about this, I want us to kind of like create together and have a thinking spot where we can always come back together and think through this. And it will also encourage me to keep going in my studies on this. Now I have 6 minutes, so I'll go ahead and keep going. One thing.
Let me interrupt you right there. You have a little more than 6 minutes. You've got some wiggle room. You've got some wiggle room. So I just wanted to ease you a little bit right there. And you might want to explain how to use a Padlet for those who haven't used one before.
Oh, if you haven't used a Padlet, all you need to do is just click on this link that I gave you, okay? And as you can see, oh, thank you. I love the wiggle. If I click on it, will it pop up, Laura?
I think you're sharing the PowerPoint, so I wouldn't want to mess with that a little bit.
Okay, cool. Yeah, let's not mess with that. So if you click on my Padlet, you will see several rows of questions, and you don't have to answer every question. It's just kind of a thinking area for you. And if you have any questions that you want to take offline, I can respond to you offline as well. So there's like a little question at the end. There's questions on how do you feel about what your organization is doing? And this will also inform me as I'm working with organizations as well, right? And I'm also working with school organizations to see how we can start really moving our students towards this future type of learning. And so I'm going to tell you how fast, because people don't understand how quickly technology is moving. And Kurzweil specifically mentions how the doubling of learning, which is actually called Moore's Law, which is how they define the movement of how quickly technology is learning. They're saying that there's a doubling that happens every 2 years. Well, actually, the doubling is really happening since the beginning of time. So what we have to take a look at is what he did was he broke down the type of radical change we are going to see in our lifetime. So what he predicted was that by the time between the years of 2000 and 2025, we will see 100 years in our mind, 100 years of technology or technological development. Between 2025 and 2050, we will see 200 years of technological development. Between 2050 and 2075, we will see 400 years of technological development. And between 2075 and 2100, we will see 800 years of technological development. That is how quick technology is moving. That means we must become very agile. So if you have learned of being agile and all of these types of terms, this is what it means to be agile and to be Now, when I say that AI is ahead of time, this is just a short little 2-minute video to kind of show you what is happening on the AI front.
For decades, human beings have played games against computers. At first, computers struggled, but then they started winning.
Watson, what is greed? Yes.
And now they've become so dominant that they're raising doubts about the future of humanity. The latest emblem for existential dread is Google's DeepMind project, which created AlphaGo, an AI program that's become unbeatable at the most complex strategy game on the planet. While the game of checkers has 10 to the power of 20 possible outcomes, and a game of chess has 10 to the power of 40 possible outcomes, Go has more than 10 to the power of 80 possible outcomes. AlphaGo is trained to analyze situations itself by breaking the game down into tiny parts and visualizing all possible moves. Last week, it played the world's best Go player, 19-year-old Ke. With the help of a human handler, AlphaGo beat him 3 times, and after doing what it was designed to do, retired from the game.
在这次比赛完之后，在他继续又不停的进步之后，我觉得他对我而言就是100%。
If a system like AlphaGo can learn all the moves in Go well enough to beat a person, then it has the potential to replace lawyers and accountants, among dozens of other jobs. It might be perfect, but it has no way to navigate human politics. The Chinese government banned the live stream after Zhe lost the first game. The loss to an American company was an attack on the country's pride.
The Chinese government has made a big effort to proclaim that they are moving ahead rapidly in artificial intelligence, that they will be the people who dominate AI. To have the dreaded Google come in and beat China at its own game, it's just piling insult on top of insult. It's kind of amazing.
But it was more than a national crisis.
对我而言就是个围棋的上帝。阿尔法狗出现之后，可能真的我对人生啊，包括不是人生围棋，对人生啊也有巨大的一个改变和看法。
So, I'm going to tell you that it is ahead of schedule, but what's even more interesting, when I watched the whole game and the whole the whole series of this whole entire video on AI, it's not just it is not just the fact that, and I'm going to talk over this because this doesn't have any sound. It's not just the fact that it beat the hardest game in the world, players from the hardest game in the world, but also it is the way that it beat. Because a lot of times people are saying, well, you know, I'm so creative and technology can't be creative. Well, here is right here, just the game of Pong, and this is an AI being trained on how to play the game of Pong. And you can see what happens after a certain amount of minutes of training. But it's not the fact that was the first 10 minutes. He's bad, just like everybody, right? Now, after 120 minutes of playing and AI technology learning, it seems like he's getting better, and then he begins to win, which is beautiful. And then the way that AI technology works is through its creativity, because in this next section, you're going to see that after 240 minutes of training, he is going to think of a move. And I don't want to say he and make it like gender specific either. This AI technology is, or maybe we should say she is going to move in a way that no one would have ever thought of playing this game. And that's what's happening with AI technology. How can we use that? We can use that for wonderful things where we are actually looking at how can we use AI technology to solve very, very complicated problems in a different way that we would never have thought of. How many more minutes do I have? Okay, let's go. I can do this. And so you can see how quickly it is moving, but even the way that it won the championships is exactly the same way. It was making the most creative moves that no human would have ever thought of playing. They thought that the computer was going crazy at some point. So economic singularity, as you can see, we started with physical labor, and this is just kind of where we're going into the 4.0. We're going into precision work. Precision work meaning that people will be experts. And so there's lots of people right now, and lots of books that are right now out, like Denter Smith and How School Could Be, who are saying, why do we need to know every single date and how are we being taught from young children in childhood? Because we really should be looking at following the students' learning. And we should really be looking at getting them into precision work and tying those standards to that precision work that they do. And when we say do instead of learn, we can use technology in order to give us the content that we need. But we can do the on-time content. And I'll talk to you a little bit about Education 4.0. These are some other areas that might be gone and devastated through this technological shift that is happening. Yeah, right? It's shocking. And also for us teachers out there, teachers are also on, they call it the redundancy list, because it's anything that can go again and again. And before COVID happened, I didn't understand how it would happen until COVID hit. And now everybody all over the world has placed all of their best lessons and videos and everything, lesson plans, onto the internet. And so it would only take a very powerful AI to mine all of that data and literally create personalized plans for each and every individual student. So my question is, where are marginalized communities in this area? Because testing and grading is really keeping us behind in America. I know that this is a worldwide global audience, but the accountability to tests it does not a paper test or a computerized test with ABCD, it does not give us what we need. The essence of deeper learning, I love Fullen's 6 C's. And if you haven't read this, and I know I only have like maybe a minute or so left, but the essence of deep learning is not in the 4 C's like we think in America. It's actually the 6 C's. It means that we have to be global with our thought process. We need to like really take on an entrepreneurialism spirit. We also have to leverage that digital learning and use it for our benefit, and be able to really do instead of consume technology, really do instead of consume information in our minds, because we have right on time technology in our hand, in iPads and everything. And so I've just wanted to, if you haven't looked at the Padlet yet, how are we using this in our organizations? I also wanted to talk to you about Education 4.0. You might want to take a look at what Malaysia is doing here, because we have the 1.0 model, which of course is the teacher standing in the front. And then we have the 2.0 model, which is technically where most of America's schools are right now, where it's like you've got activities and it's kind of like a back and forth kind of learning, but it's really not inquiry based. Inquiry based is 3.0. And 3.0 is that project-based learning, the inquiry-based learning, the using and the integration of technology within our lessons. And lastly, 4.0 is a complete disconnect and scattering from that classroom. Now we can learn anywhere, anything we want to, on-time content with job embeddedness and what we are doing. And so these are just kind of the functions of 4.0. I'm pretty much done, Miss Laura. How did I do on time?
Well, you still have about 3 minutes left for questions.
Really?
Yay! Good job. So do we have any questions?
So you can kind of soak in what 4.0 is, or take a screenshot or something. But yeah, this was a quick one, but it's really not about specifically what you do. It's really about how are you thinking about doing it, and how are we embedding it in our jobs?
Good point. Great job.
And feel free to keep the Padlet, and if you think of something later tonight, like, what? Then you can definitely like email me, and you can use the Padlet to get in contact with me as well, because I do kind of look at it from time to time. And you guys are amazing, and I love you, and thank you for having me here again. Thank you. Yes, constructivist, yes, all the way.
Thank you so much. And if there are no more questions, I don't see any other in there. This was fantastic. Marie, thank you so much. And we're going to go ahead and end the session. Bye.